Hello everyone, it's Tailz from Studio WyldFurr here. I have just recently uploaded the brand new map tiles, Dungeon Map Tiles 6 set to the marketplace. So it's been released into the wild. You can get it for Fantasy Grounds, which is what I'm going to be demonstrating it here today. And well, let's jump right in. So today I'm just basically going to build a map. I do this just to test out the pieces, make certain everything looks the way it should. This will also act as a bit of a tutorial to show you how I build maps using map tiles, which you can see and learn from. Okay, so the first thing I do is I open a blank map, as I've made here in Fantasy Grounds. I then go to the grid settings, and I change the grid to be from the default, which is 100 to 180, which is the size that I use, and just make certain the grid type is square, because it's a standard Dungeons and Dragons grid. 5 feet per each hex tile. Each square tile as well. You can hide the map or let it show. I sort of turn it off and on as I build. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is create some folders for what I'm going to put all my pieces in. And the folders relate to the main elements. So we're going to have the ground. We will have the floor. We will then have walls. Then we'll have features. And we may have a roof. Like, I probably won't use the roof because I didn't make one this time, but if you're putting like a roof on your building, you'll want to put that in as well. Those are the folders that I use, and obviously I start in the ground one. Now, I do want to use some particular pieces simply because I want to try them out. So I'm going to start with the sandy ground folder, and it's a texture which looks like sandy ground. So let's plonk it down. I'll make let's get it back to reset the zoom. Okay, so we're at 100%. Whoops. View, reset zoom. There we go. So it looks like sandy ground. And to build it up, we just drag, drop, drag, drop. Now it's looking at them larger. I want to just pop them down. So let's zoom out a bit so I can get a bit of an idea. Okay, so let's build so one of the cool features that I've made for this map tile set, so I wanted to do a bit more sort of wilderness terrain. So you'll see that I've got pieces here that are, it's a sandy, put that there, zoom back in, reset zoom. So it's sort of like coming into water. It's like a sandy beach. So let's build a sort of a bit of a rivery piece coming along here. Now this water texture meets up with the water texture from the original Dungeon Maps tiles set, the very original set. So let's put the other side of the water will be over here. Oop. So as you can see, I'm just quickly dragging and dropping. I actually have no plan. Like, I just wanted to try out a couple of the pieces, see how they fit together. Okay, let's make a turn. So here's all our turning pieces. And let's make this piece up here turn. So I'm going to need, where is it? This piece. So let's pop that there, then pop this one here. So make it look like the river is turning around. And do this Now this is the main problem. Well, it's not really a problem, but because I made the set pieces quite large, so let's move some pieces around. Put that one there. Put that one there. Take these. Bring this piece in. There we go. So that's not that big a deal. Pop those there. So that we'll have the river sort of continue off this way. There we go. Where's this? So have that one there. Whoops. Let's make another little turny section. Let's just make it sort of like there's an inlet here. So we need where is it? There it is. That piece. Put this one here. Pardon me. Grab that piece. Let's just give it a bit extra down here. Yep, there we go. Now we'll make it turn back around to continue. So that way we can make a sort of big large area. Let's make it turn away as well. Down here. So where's the... Nope, wrong side. I want this side. Oops. And we want the turn again. There. So we're going to have a big area sort of come around here, but let's concentrate on just quickly putting in some more pieces here. So we'll put a bridge across here. And there we go. Okay, that should be enough for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly skip to the original dungeon map tile set, and I'll just actually put in the where is it? Basic tiles, deep water. So these are the original water tiles. So we'll just quickly fill this in. So that way you can see how it looks like water instead of being this texture. Now I'm zoomed right out to give me a bit of a better view, but obviously I won't be doing all of my building about this size. Plonk, plonk, plonk. Oops. And just go and fill this in. There we go. Oop. Come back over here. Oop, same with you. Okay, so that's enough to give us an idea of what we're doing. Let's zoom back in, reset zoom. Okay, so There we are. Now, this is going to be the fun part. Whenever in Fantasy Grounds, whenever you're placing tiles, it always places them at the top. Now, I want to put them into their proper folders. So what I'm going to do is drag the folders to the top of the list. Because one little feature / bug I've noticed with Fantasy Grounds is whenever you pick up a lot of tiles and then drag them to put them in another folder, anything below them sort of jumps up, and if they've moved, it doesn't like having things put inside them. So you'll just want to move the folders to the top, then you can select all this stuff and go boonk into ground. And there we go. It's all in one folder. And with it being all in one folder, we can easily keep track of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another folder. I'm going to call it Bridge. And it's going to get put inside the ground folder, because this is where our bridge is going to be going. So let's go back to Dungeon Map Tile 6. There it is. And we've got two types of bridge. We've got a wooden bridge, and we've got a stone bridge. So if you were building, let's just say we're going to put a wooden bridge across here. Let's just zoom out a little bit. There we go. So it's got an end piece. So this is the southern end piece. It's got a northern end piece. There we go. And then it's got these middle pieces. So if you want to, depending how long you want to make the bridge, you'd put in more middle pieces. And then you pick it up, pop it in, bridge. There we go. And we should be able to, yep, we can move the whole bridge around. So you could make the bridge. You don't have to keep it straight up and down. You can rotate it. Rotated all those pieces. Can I keep them locked? Will it let me? Let's see. Lock. I usually do my building in Photoshop, so no, it's not gonna. Hang on, what if I? I'll work that out later. But anyway, you can rotate this. It's just being grid snap. Maybe that's what I want. Yeah, no, I'll work this out later. Oh no, hang on. I could use. Come on. Surely there's a way to do it. Oh. Hang on. Oh, I'll work that out later. I just want to try it out at the moment. As I said, I usually do my building in Photoshop. So sometimes I get, with the nuances on Fantasy Grounds, I get a little bit caught. But anyway, that's the wooden bridge. The stone bridge. Let's go back. Stone bridge. Here we go. The stone bridge consists of a couple of different components. So once again, it's got a northern end, a southern end, but it's broken in half. So this is the northern end. Let's just put it there. So it's northern end, and I'll show you why it's broken in half. Where's the other side? There we go. So you could just put it together like that. And where's the other end? Let's put it down here. And you could just put this piece here. And this piece here. Dunk. And then it's got a middle section. So you could make it longer. Oops. There we go. So you can make it as long as you like. So there we go. So let's just add in another piece. And there's our stone bridge going across. Now, so you could make it smaller by simply taking out one of the middle pieces. But one of the cool things is you can make it wider by simply bumping it across the square, using one of these pieces, which is, oops, I put the wrong piece in, this piece. So this goes there, this one goes down here, and then it's just a case of using the normal brickwork floor. Whoops. I went too high again. Let's go back. So brickwork floor, and you come along and just add in the center section. And you've made your bridge, you know, wider. And once again, you would pop it inside a, you know, its own folder. So let's go stone bridge. Grab that. Pop it in there. Now let's drag it. Let's bring it over. Here we go. There. Dropbox. There we go. Okay, so, and then obviously, you know, so one of the good things about putting it in is you can hide it, and then, so, for example, we won't see these tiles here, so we can just come in, grab those tiles, and move them over. So we want to continue our river. So these three, we don't really need them here. Let's just put our bridge back in. Yeah, so we didn't need what the bridge was over, so I just took out the tiles under it. Okay. So what shall we do from here? Some of the sand over here. Oops, let's just get rid of that. Probably not good having me get things wrong in Fantasy Grounds. It looks pretty cool. Okay, so that's that terrain. Okay, let's go back to another piece of, okay, that's the sand ground. Let's go to stony ground. Oh no, let's go to the grass. So here's some muddy ground. Now, one thing I'll probably do a little bit in the future, I'm not going to do it right now, but one thing I want to do is I want to create a transition between the sandy beach and the muddy ground, so that it sort of looks like it goes muddy ground into sandy beach. But this is just a little demonstration to show you that, you know, the other textures that we have inside this set. So we've got the muddy ground here. So let's pop those out. But one of the things that I'm quite happy with that we can do, that we can combine the other sets. So if we go to, is it map tiles 4? No. Or is it map tiles 5. Nope. I'm trying to remember where it was now. 3? Dirt road. I think this is the one I was thinking of. Yep. So we can come along and put in a dirt road. So this is why it's good to be able to, because I originally designed the bridge to be just too wide. So let's move this over. Now this is the tricky bit where stone bridge, let's pop that to the top of our ground folder. Oh, where'd it go? Probably went to the bottom. It did. Okay, let's bring it back to the top. Scroll, 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 scroll. Pop it there. Okay, so we now want this road underneath the bridge so that it looks like the road comes up to the bridge, and that's where the stone starts. And we do the same thing at the other side. Oops, grab that. And put it below the bridge. So this is where you could come along and make a road. Let's just say that there's a T intersection just up here. So we've got our road going through with that bridge. Let's actually just put some of these back over the other side. There we go. Now, one thing I recently did with the original dungeon map tiles was I added in some new tiles, this is exactly why I added them in, and it is the grass overlay. So we could come along and do, let me just hide that for a sec. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the grass coming in here, so we want to put some grass coming out here. Here we go, these are the pieces that I wanted. Now it looks a bit weird at the moment because I've got to move this underneath the bridge, but it should give you an idea of what's coming. There we go. So we'll do the same over this side. Now let's again put these into the ground folder, and we want these underneath the bridges folder. Nope. And once again we've got to put the folders back on top. Here we go. There. Okay, so to the ground folder. So that I'm not going to grab them. Oh, I keep grabbing them. I'm too used to using Photoshop. Where are we? Actually, what I'll do is I'll just hide these. There we go. Okay, so that's what I wanted to select. Okay, where is it? That's where it is there. So I want to have this grass edge. Move this one to the top. There we go. And put this back in place. And then turn the bridge back on. Boom. There we go. Now it looks properly done. And, oops. Then we just go and add in these grass tiles. Oops, go under the bridge. There we go. So now it looks the way it should look. And we do the same thing down here. Let's see how badly I can do this. Okay, so that goes there. This one goes. Oh no, goes. Where's it go? Yeah, it does go there. Sorry. Move these down. Now I need my edges. There we go. Grab these, put these down there. Great. Okay, so that's how we could build a road coming through. Okay, so let's put a building in. Let's put a building. Put a building about here. Okay. Okay, so let's grab the courtyard floor. So this is going to be in the floor. Let's go back. Okay, so let's start with this. So we're going to have a platform. Here we go. So that set turns around there. Oops. And we have another turn here. So this is a bit sort of like a platform that's built up on. So we're going to come down here. There. Oops, wrong one. Nope, nope, we want this one. And then that one. And then we want it to turn around again. Use this. So this is where these little steps with transparency come in handy, because we can just have them going over the sand tiles. Just the same as these grass tiles are pretty cool there. Do that one. And this one. Okay, so that's the edge of our platform. Let's go and put in the actual platform itself. So you notice that we've got two different little textures here. We've got large bricks and we've got small bricks. So I like to alternate between the two. So let's just say that if you use some different size ones there. So I'm just going to fill this in. No, fill it in? Yeah, because I don't know what I'm building. I'll put something over the top of it. So I'll fill it all in. Like obviously, if you had planned it out a little bit better than what I am, coming into this with no planning whatsoever. Oops. You'd probably do a better job than me at map building. Let's go back and put some big tiles up here. Oops, I keep on picking up the box. No, I want to pick up the tile, not the box. There we go. So there's our platform. Now we want to build a building on top of it. So let's pop this. Let's call this courtyard surface. And again, plonk all this inside it. Oops. Inside there, and then put it into my floor. Okay, so folders are your friend. Whenever you're building anything, always put things in folders. Because the great thing is if it's in a folder, and let's just say you've built this and you suddenly discover, oh, this needed to be one square over, you just pick up the whole thing. Move it over one square. So let's just say, we've sort of built this and we've gone, actually I want it to be closer to the road. Or on the road. But in this case we're going to put some more grass down there. Okay, so what are we going to do next? Let's put the building on top. So how are we going to build this? Or shall we make the building over here? Like this is a courtyard out in front of it, and the building's actually here. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this wooden bridge. Or actually, why don't we simply move it? Move it and use it later. So I'm going to unlock it, move it over here. So that'll become like that'll be something that we use later on. Or maybe I won't use it, I don't know. Okay, so let's... How are we going to do this? Okay, so let's start off with the brickwork floor and plan this out a little bit. So let's just say how about we just make this one bigger? I like symmetry. Symmetry is nice. It's your friend. Will this do? No, it's not. Can I duplicate? No. Oh well. Let's just go back up. Oops. Go back to our courtyard. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Courtyard floor. There we are. Okay, so let's quickly add in some extra bricks. And so another piece over here. Where is? There it is. Another piece there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put those into the courtyard surface. Oh, if it doesn't want to let me. Okay. Oops. Select the right ones and drag them in. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to our... So I want to put that there. And then put that there, because that's the center. Okay, so let's grab some steps. Did I make the steps in a folder? I think I did. Staircase. Okay, so let's go staircase standard. Okay, let's use the little bit of edging because we just want to have this. Reset our zoom, and I put the wrong one in. I want this one because you can see this is like a little edge piece of the. There we go. And because what my plan is, I have a plan. I have a plan. Let's call this stone floor. I'm going to put the stone floor into floors. There we go. Oh. What's this? What's it called? Oh, it's going to go brick floor. It didn't like the name that I gave it. Okay, so that's coming up there. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because portcullis gate. So I've got two different portcullis gates. I've got one where it's closed and one where it's open. So let's use the closed one. Turn him around. And he's going to go right there. Now that's going to go into our features folder because that's got to be above the wall, and I'll show you why in a moment. So it's going to look a little bit weird at the moment. So let's put Brickwork Floor to. Yeah, it still doesn't like the name. Do you like the name now? Is it alright? Yes. Apparently it's alright now. Okay, cool. Isn't it fun building in programs you don't build a lot in? So messages. Okay, back to this. What am I doing? Okay, back to the brickwork floor. So we will make sort of like a tower on this side with a window. Same thing over here. Now, where are the windows? I know I made windows. Pit trap, staircase. Where did I make it? I probably put it in here. Here we did. Yep. So we've got a window. And we'll pop a copy of it over here. Okay. This is looking good now. Okay, now this is where I get to show you, because I'm going to put some walls in now. So let us put in some walls. And this is where so you should be able to start to see what's coming here. So we've got like an entrance here. And we'll pop those into walls. So that's in its features. There we go. Now I'm going to need some cornerstones. So, where are we? There it is. Oops, wrong one. I want this one. This cornerstone up here. Okay, so that's our cornerstones. So as you can see, we've got a building, entrance, so portcullis gate. This could be 2 side towers. Yeah, maybe this is a moat going around the castle. Okay, so let's... we need to put another wall piece there. So back up a folder. Where is it? There we go. let's see if I can just grab this, grab all these folders, move them up, grab these walls, pop them into the walls folder. So as you can see, this is why the portcullis had to be above the walls, because this little overlap here, because if this was below the wall, so for example if I move this below the wall, there we go, you'll see that the wall actually goes over this indentation, so it's been made to go over it like that, and that way it looks like the portcullis is sort of embedded into the wall. And there's a little step up here to get in. Then we've got a window. We've got our courtyard platform out the front, which this could be a greeting area. This would be a great place to have an encounter where the guards come out and fight whoever's just shown up at the front door to raid them. Go, oh no, murder hobos! So let's just make this room. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to put in the walls. I'll put the walls in and then I'll put the floor in after that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another window here. So that's where that's going to go. Now let's turn it back around. Here we go. And I'll put a door into this main area. So we want, where is it? That's the one I want. And this will be backing onto the castle, so, or the building. So we're not going to need another door there or a window. So an actual wall. Yeah. Stop grabbing it. That's what I want to grab. Put that there. Now we want that there. Then we come back around and we want this one. Oop, not that one. I want this one. Why am I grabbing that? Stop grabbing that. That's the one I want. Grab this one. There we go. Go back to the small windows. Now you'll notice that in the window tiles, I've got two kinds of window sort of design. One includes the floor, like this here. Now this is because I put a lighting effect to make the sun, like as if there's sunlight coming through the window. Now the next one is this one here. I'll just drag that on. Now this is purely an overlay. So you could go and put this, because obviously this artwork is set. So if you want to put this on a different kind of, like if you want to use this tile texture as the floor for your room, this would look out of place. So you could come along and build, you could come along and build a, if you had a wall going along here, you can then just put this on top of the wall, and that way it looks in place. It's sort of a downside that you don't have the pre-rendered lighting effect on it, but it is what it is. It looks pretty cool anyway. So we've got our window there, and we want to put another window there. There we go. So this is where we're going to put a floor, this is where we're going to have a door, another door will go here. So we're going to need some more walls. Okay, so that's the layout of our rooms so far. So let's just go and fill in the rest of these walls. So one thing I'm going to do before I get far too many layers on here is I'll just drag these folders back up here, select all these, put them into the walls folder. There we go. So as you can see, it's all in there. Like this is another reason why folders are just essential, because as you can see, because that you're building a map in a granular method, you're going to end up with lots and lots of little layers with, you know, each one of these is a map tile. So by putting them in folders, you can just grab the whole lot, hide the whole lot, or you know, move the whole lot if you need to, and it's easy to move things around. Okay, so let's just continue this. So I'll put a big double door down here. Dunk. Oops. Now you'll see as well, although I'm accidentally just dragging this all over the place all the time, this is when I'm building in Fantasy Grounds, or pretty much any program that I'm building, be it GIMP, Photoshop, Fantasy Grounds, Foundry, VTT, whatever. This is pretty much the format that I use. So I'll have a big window, which is the map itself, and then I'll have another window, which is just the assets. So I can just quickly drag and drop to put things down. If you get into that methodology, building maps can be quite quick. Assuming you have a plan, which I don't. So once again, I'm going to put these into the walls folder. Whoa. Walls, there we go. So there you can know, it's, you know, everything's where it's supposed to be. So I'll put some more walls down here. Oops. And one of the great things about building in Fantasy Grounds is the grid snap. You don't realize how good that is until you start building into programs like Photoshop, where it has good grid snap, but it's more of a graphics editing program where this is more designed for putting tiles in. So the grid snap is like really strict. You know, it's going to snap in place, or it's going to snap to the edge. I mean, sorry, the center. So that's really cool. Although I prefer doing my building in Photoshop, I actually prefer map tile building in virtual tabletop apps such as Fantasy Grounds or GIMP. GIMP's actually got a pretty good snap as well, but this is a program that's just built for doing this sort of thing. So the grid snap is so useful. It's so useful. You know, all praise the great god of grid snap. Okay. Now this is where I want to put in some little cornerstone doors. So if you're looking for doorways and the edge and the corners of walls, it's in the walls folder, but then it's in a folder called cornerstones and doorways. So this is where you can quickly build in a doorway. So for example, there's just the static, so there's just the single corner, or for example, this is a 4-way doorway, or there's just this is a single doorway, and it's got it for all the cardinal points. So for north, south, east, and west. So there's this side, that side, and then we have nope, wrong one. Grab the right one. There we go. Pardon me. So that's our doorway. Now you'll also notice that I've got doors, and again, you want to put these in the features folder. So you want them most sort of features, you usually want them. If you want it to have artwork that's overlaying the wall, so for example, like with the portcullis, you want to pop it in a features folder that's above your walls layer. if you want it to look like it's sort of like within the room, affected by the shadowing of the walls, then you want to have it in a folder that's between your floors folder and above your floors folder, but below your walls folder, and then it looks like it's sort of affected by the wall shadowing. Let's put these walls into the wall there. Let's grab our simple door. Okay, so here we go. He's got a very simple door. So let's just pop him. So we pop one door there, put him into the features folder. Now we'll have the next door. Now he's slightly open. I'm actually just going to flip him and then put him there, and then put him into the features folder as well. And that's our doors. Our door's done. Okay, so let's go back to putting in the floor, because now I've fleshed out where my walls are. We'll just go and put the floor in. So back to the brickwork floor, and just populate the floor. So you'll notice that I've got most of them are single grid map tiles, but I've got some that are, so for example, this is a 2x1, so you can come along and just pop that in there. They help to give a little bit of design change. So one thing I've tried to do is always have like some sort of, so you don't necessarily always have to have a grid showing over your artwork, because sometimes seeing a constant white line grid over your artwork is just a bit so I've tried to work the map grid into the artwork. So, but sometimes it's nice to not have that line through it, and these slightly different, slightly larger ones, or the 2x1 or 1x2 or 2x2 make it look all that much more interesting. And again, now that I've put these in, just drag them to the bottom, then put them in the brickwork floor, and it's now underneath. It looks where it belongs. Okay, so let's drag in a few more. Oops. All praise grid snap. All praise grid snap. Back to the brick floor. There we go. So that's that room done. Let's go to this one and do the same thing. So boonk, boonk, boonk. Oops. Let's just quickly put the two there and this one again. Then grab those into brick floor. Oops. Okay. Now we want to fill this in. So let's do the same thing. Drag them down into the brick floor. There we go. So, okay, so what I'm going to do next is I want to put in a staircase. So let's have a, how shall we do this? Do a staircase over here, and maybe just a big room here. And there's sort of double doors here. To just give you an idea, so we've got simple double doors. So let's just pop that down there. So you just spin them around to be how you want. Put it in place, and then put it in the features folder. Boom. That's our doors done. So let's have, well, actually let's do a room here that's that size. So let's go back to our walls. I'm going to use this wall, this corner, to make it a slightly different looks. Because I like the look of this built-in corner sort of area. Oh. There we go. So it'll be a big room like that. So let's just to say this is the back of the actual building. So we'll put in go to our windows, big window, there we go. And we've got a big window, there we go. So we'll have little doorways coming off the side here. So let's go and do the walls. There we go. And we'll need our cornerstones because we want to put in, there it is, so I want this one over here, and this one over here. There we go. So that's a room, that's going to be a room there. So we'll have something here, and I want to put a staircase up in here. I'm going to want to put some corners here, and it'll be this one, and this one. There we go. Okay, so let's put those walls into the walls folder. There we go. Everything's where it should be. Excellent. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Actually, I will grab the doors. Dunk. So let's just say this door is going to be open to the features folder, and let's have a fully open door over the side. So let's flip it there like that. Actually, no. Let's have it like it's fully open, but it's not up again. Because if you look at the artwork for this one, I'll just show them side by side. See how this cuts off? So this is if you were putting a door near a wall. Dunk, like that. So this would be fully open near a wall, which will look a little bit silly if it's opening out into a room, which is what we're doing. So flip that over, pop that there. So that one will look correct, because you can see the shadow is not fully cut off, assuming that it's near a wall. And put that into features. Now the rooms are looking pretty blank because, well, there's nothing in there. Eventually, what I would do is, and what I will do eventually is I'll go and use one of the token packs to put props and objects in here. So, for example, I could put a bed and a table and other things like that. So I'll do that after I finish this little building. I'll even put to show how you can go and put window sort of the line of sight dynamic lighting materials in. So this is a bit of a long live stream and a bit of an all over the place live stream. So it's not just about the Dungeon Map Tailz 6, which originally was my idea, to have it just about Dungeon Map Tailz 6, because this is all Dungeon Map Tailz 6, this is Dungeon Map Tailz 6, so is the water coming through, the bridges, but this grass, the grass edge and the grass is from the original Dungeon Map Tailz pack. This road is from Dungeon Map Tailz 3, I think it was. But this sort of shows how everything's interconnected. The whole idea is that all these packs, you put them all together. It's just resources for map building. You just use it to create whatever your imagination sort of wants to put together. because the whole idea is that it just continually expands. It just adds texture and dynamics, so that if you want to go and put a water feature into a dungeon, you've got the ability to do it. So let's get back to this, finishing this off, because I'll then, once I get these rooms in, I'll do some dynamic lighting, and we'll try popping a token on it and moving around, seeing how it looks. Okay, so let's just do it over here. So I'll actually put the floor in. Now, I won't do it in this room because I want to show using the carved stone, and unfortunately the carved stone doesn't work so good with like, I don't have any of these windows with the pre-rendered lighting on carved stone. Like, I can't design everything as much as I would like to. Like, I could do, I suppose, I could do this. Could put some, this is little bricks with some black marble there. To bottom into Brickwork Floor. Dunk. There we go. And that's, whoops, there's gotta put one there. There we go. So that's that done. That's that room out of the way. Now I'll do this one last because I want to put the staircase in here, and the staircase can be tricky. But let's do this room. So I know it's going to be just here, so I'll quickly put the floor in. But this is where I wanted to use these carved stone sort of tiles to give the floor an interesting look. So now you'll notice that it comes with, there's basically two lines running around a room. One's a thick line, so this is the thick line here, and then there's a smaller line. Now it sort of becomes a case of working out which one to use. So for example, if I just show it with this tile, the thick line is on what we would call, for this room, is on the outside, but there's the same thing. This is the same thing, but the thin line is on the other side. So sometimes you might want to do a room where, let me just quickly throw these in. So there's that. I want the turn on the other side. Let me guess, it's back here. Yep, there it is. Come back here. And there was here. Oops, grabbed the wrong thing again. Okay, so on this occasion that I've made it, the thick line is on what you would call the outside of this room, and the thin line is on the inside. So let's go and put the wall around it. So that's our floor. Into the brickwork floor. There we go. Now we want our wall. Here we are. So we want this one, goes there, this one goes there, that goes there, and where's the other side? That's there. Okay, so we then put that there, and I'll put the outside of the building on. It's always good to have the outside wall done, or else you end up with a building with no guts. Or actually it has guts, but no skin. So there's the outer wall. So this is where you could. Actually, I'll just continue putting the wall round because it's pretty much done on this side. Now we need the cornerstones and that one. There we go. So let's grab these, drag them down, and put it into walls. There we go. Oops, I need the other side of the door. That one. There we are. Pop that into the walls folder. There we go. So that one's pretty much done. What we could do is we could go and put where is it? In the windows, big window. So we could use, this is where we could use the overlay. So because there's no light coming through, I'm going to use the window that is actually shuttered. So let's spin it around, pop it there, and then we go to the small window folder, and yep, here's the same thing, and it's shuttered again. I mean, well, it's got the shutters down. So, and I'm actually going to put this one. This is the good thing about using an overlay, is that normally you'd put it in the hex, in the edge of edge of the grid square itself. But this one I'm actually going to put it between the grid square. Great thing about snap is it snaps to the middle or the square itself. So there's a room with some closed, shuttered windows, where this one's open. And here's our building, and it's built right over the water. It's got a moat, except the moat's dried up here. Okay, so let's go and do here, but I want to put a little staircase in here. So I'll show you how to do the staircase. So how shall we build this? We shall build this. Let's start with the walls. Okay, so we shall have that wall and that one. Now I'll put a wall here. So there'll be a doorway coming into a staircase here. Go away, Dropbox. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. Let's grab these, put these down into walls. Oh, and this is where I'm going to need a corner there. That's that one. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to need another corner just here. Now I'm going to use this corner that's actually got a bit of curve to it, because you see this one's square, this one's got a curve to it because this is going to curve around. Okay, let's see how we go from here. Now I'm actually going to put, so let's put another, because I know I'm going to need a corner there, because that's going to be the actual corner of the building. So I'll come back here. So there we go. And then I'm going to put the rest of the wall down here, because I know that we're going to need, there it is. So that's all, our building almost done. This is going to be where we're going to have our staircase, which I'll put in a moment. But again, let's sort our layers, put that into walls. Now I'm going to grab the small window overlay, use the shuttered one, and I'm going to put it right there. No. It's probably gone right to the bottom of the list. Yep, it has. So let's drag this back up to the top. Because I want this wall, or actually I want this window there. So that way it's over the top of these walls. There we go. Okay, so let us put in the floor. Now I'm going to add a floor here, and this can be quite important when doing staircases because I use a lot of transparency, and I'll show you why that ends up being important. Okay, so that's there. Now let's just do a little organizing. Down into Brickwork Floor. There we go. So I haven't put the walls for this section in yet. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at my staircase. So we're going to use the 5-foot circular staircase, and these are the pieces for it. So how this works is you want to put down a floor first, because as you see how there's a transparent area here, so there's a bit of shadow, transparent area. This is because when you put this in place, you can see that it's over the top of this section here. Now, the tricky bit is working out which ones you want and which order you want them to be in. So we want to have wrong one, this one. Okay. So a person would enter here and then start walking up the stairway here. So we want to have that one there. Then we want, where is it? This one. Yep. Now this is where positioning gets to be, or layer positioning gets to be important. We want this. So think about it as you're climbing the stairs. This set of steps. Oops. These set of steps would actually be lower than this set of steps. So you want to have the layer for this set of steps above this one. So you want to put that there, and you just want to keep them like that. So that way the shadowing is now correct. Then we want to have, it's this one here, that one there. We pop that down and it goes there. So now the shadowing is correct. And it looks a little weird because there's no walls in here yet. So let's add in the walls. But first, now it can be useful to just stick these in a folder by themselves. So that way you can find them again. So let's call this staircase. Again, folders, folders, folders. Now these go into these. Normally you'd put this into your floor folder. Yep, there it goes. Let's see if oh, there it goes. Excellent. Fantasy Grounds didn't seem to like having a folder named floor inside a folder named floor. I had the name at brick_floor. Okay, so we've got the texture of our steps in here. So this will be a stairway going up. So actually, I'll do two staircases to show you. So this is a staircase going up. Now, if we did a staircase going down, would have used a different set of tiles. So let's just look at this. So if this was going down, I would have actually started with this one. So it starts there, because this is the turning point here. So you walk in here and then you start going down. Now again, this is where you need to work out, are these correctly, which layer is correct. So this is the one that we want to use for the next one. Now because I've just popped it down, it's actually above this one. See how this is showing up above it? So we want to grab this one and just move it above it. So now the shadowing is correct. Now we're going to need to do the same thing for the next one, which is this one. And pop it down. And then we want both of these above it. Oops. There. Okay. So now the shadowing is correct. This is going down. So let's grab these and pop it into the staircase down folder. Oops. Oops. Pardon me. There we go. Okay, cool. So, and we'll pop that into our floor folder. So, and we want to have it above there. Cool. Now, so that's that. Now, I have added in, and I haven't done the walls yet, so that please bear in mind this still looks a little wrong because there's no walls. So let's just quickly put in the walls. Brickwork walls. So I'm going to use. So first up, I want a flat wall here. Bonk. Then I want to have. I'm going to actually use the curved walls. So let's go to 5-foot curved wall. And we want to use the one with the shadow on the inside. So there. And here. Oh, no. Not that one. We want this one. There we go. Now, there's going to be a turn here, but I'm going to use passageway. I'm going to use one of these dead ends. And you'll see why in a moment. Actually, I could just use the passageway here. There we go. And now I'm going to put in cornerstones that are turning and just there. So we'll use this curved one. And this curved one. So I think you can start to see how this is coming along. Now, you'll notice here with the curved wall section, there's a bit of peek through of texture. Now, when we go and put in the line of sight geometry, you won't see that peek through because the line of sight will be to the wall. So you actually won't see that stuff because it'll be out of the character's line of sight. Now, let's just put this into the walls folder. There we go. So one thing I've added in this set, which I want to add into pretty much all the sets now, are these black and white fade helpers. So as you can see here, they are quite simple, just some black and white fades. So I'm going to use this one here. I'm going to put it there, but I'm going to put it between the walls folder and the floor folder. So now you can see that fade makes it look as if it's going down into darkness, which can give you the appearance of, changing levels. So for example, if we, actually what I'll do is I'll go to the floor folder, I'll actually put this fade into the staircase folder. Oops. Okay. Gotta put it there. Okay. So it's in the correct position. So I'll show you. So that's the staircase going down. Let's hide that. So let's show you the staircase going up. So this is the one going up. So we could use this fade, which is a white fade. So it's going up into, so that we can see it's going up into, going up into, let's say, the light. So this could be ascending into an upper level. And I usually put that, I do actually put that one over the top of the walls layer, or the walls folder, if I'm using a staircase that ascends. But let's just assume, let's actually get rid of it. Let's assume this one actually is going down. So we're just going to use the down one. So that's actually going down. And that's, let's just assume for the map, like I could spend hours going and fleshing this map out, but let's just assume that this is the map that I want to use for my adventure, or the building I want to use for my adventure. So from here, you want to start adding in some. Let's get rid of that. Now I'm going to lock everything because I don't want to move anything. And let's go to our line of sight and start putting some line of sight into this. Okay, so rectangle. And hopefully I'm doing this right. Oops. So we want to get rid of those. There we go. Back over here. Now it's a little trick I learned from actually watching one of I think it's Doug Davidson, the owner of Smiteworks. When he was actually doing some mapping, he showed in one of his videos that a good way of doing the line of sight walls is to sort of draw it over and then overdraw. So for example, let's start out here. Oops. Draw it out like that. Let's select. Then do that. And while you've still got the selection, sort of cut off the excess. That's a good quick way of doing this. I'm not certain what it's doing here. It's been a while since I used the line of sight in Fantasy Grounds. As I once again I said, I do most of my map building in Photoshop. So I may be completely and utterly doing this wrong. There we go. So I'm going to actually close down the assets for now, make the window bigger. see if I can. Now this is where not having to worry about a bit of poke through comes in, because as you can see, as I draw in the line of sight, because this polygon is going to block out, you know, what players can see. You don't have to be too exact. Like I'm probably going a little bit too close to the walls. There we go. Let's see if I can just go back to. This is got an odd bit, so draw it with the line again. Now this is why, I know a number of people have asked about this, this is why I don't put line of sight data into my map tiles, because this will give a lot cleaner result. Let's see if I can do this. Yep, there we go. Using my pen tool is a lot quicker. See if I can do this. There we go. So we're going to have to, so this is just the walls. I'll put in, no doubt there's some people who use Fantasy Grounds a lot more than me that are watching what I'm doing going, oh my god, what is he doing? Don't do it like that. I'm sorry. Wonder if I can do this. Cool. Can I get rid of just the line? No, I can't. I probably didn't want to do that. In fact, I'll get rid of this. I should have done this differently. This is what I should have done. I should have drawn just a square, then a rectangle there. Rectangle there. Got rid of the end bits. Same thing up here. There we go. So, there are some walls. Now, the next thing we want is some doors. Let's try this. Hopefully, this is going to work how I think it works. So, this is our big portcullis. Did I just break this? Oh, no, I didn't. Excellent. Okay, back down here. Take out that side. Okay. Let's see what happens when I do this. There. Ooh, it looks a bit horrible. What have I done? Ew. Okay, so hopefully this does not look weird. Yep, that's probably not a good idea. What have I done? Working it. Okay, let's see if I can fix this. Go away, Dropbox. Okay. Hopefully that works. So that's door, another door here. Oops. Another door here. What's going on there? What? You are not supposed to be doing that. Okay, let's see what's happening. Okay, so you can go out there. There we go. That was a little weird. Okay, so that's our doors and windows. Okay, the windows should just be good. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. Yeah. Okay. Didn't I put a window there? I did. I did put a window here. Okay, it must be. Okay, so let's try and pick. Okay, so that's that. That's the piece that I want, so where is it? There it is. I'm going to drag that back up the top. Oops, I dropped it. There we go. Put that back. Awesome. Okay, so let's go back to our... So we're putting in a window. Let's see what happens if I do this. There we go. See what happens if I go over like that. Oh, okay. So let's grab these. Oops. There we go. Oh, I am so bad at building these. Is that it? Got our windows done. Awesome. So, cross fingers. Let's go to play. Okay, let's move this over. Let's create a NPC. Oh no, let's grab a monster. Probably got no set loaded. I should have created a character. Oh dear. Okay. Got no modules loaded, so let's... There we go. So does that give us NPCs? Let's grab an acolyte. It's been a while since I've done this. So, actually I probably should put some lights in. Let's create a light. Create a light here. And let's create one here, 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 and here. Okay, so let's go. Ah, that's what I wanted to do. Enable dynamic line of sight. So, what have I done wrong? So as you can see, this is how it sort of... Just ignore my bad memory of how Fantasy Grounds works. Come through into here. Down a staircase. Anyway, that gives you an idea of how you can use the dungeon map tiles to build your own dungeon, and from there it's pretty much up to your imagination. I hope this has given you a good idea of how you can build your own maps, although I've done it pretty badly. But that's how it works. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been educational. If not, you've enjoyed watching me make lots of blunders using Fantasy Grounds. Thank you very much.